$1. That is what a bag of diatomaceous earth costs at Walmart, a white powder made of fossilized microscopic algae that kills every insect it touches. Not with poison, not with chemicals, with microscopic glass razors that shred their exoskeletons from the inside out. Roaches, bedbugs, ants, termites, fleas, every species. One application, no resistance, no surviving colony. The Chinese used this powder to protect grain stores 4,000 years ago. The Egyptians packed it into the pyramids. Alfred Nobel used it to invent dynamite, and he funded the Nobel Prize with the fortune it created. In laboratory testing published in 2024, 100% of bedbugs exposed to this dust died within 48 hours. 100%. The pest control industry charges $1,500 to treat a single bedroom for bedbugs. That industry generates $28 billion a year. They did not stop selling this powder because it failed. They stopped talking about it because there is no monthly contract in a $1 bag of dust. This is the story of diatomaceous earth and the billion-dollar industry that buried it. In the next 10 minutes, you're going to learn the exact physical reason this powder destroys every insect where chemicals fail, the specific application method that changes everything, and the step-by-step protocol that costs $1 instead of $5,000. Stay until the end, because step 3 is the one that separates the people who eliminate every pest permanently from the people who keep calling the exterminator every spring. Long before the pest control industry sold fear by the month, ancient cultures fought the same invisible war. Grain rotted in Chinese storehouses unless it stayed dry. Egyptian priests sealed tombs with powders that sucked the life from anything crawling inside. In Greece, teeth were scrubbed with gritty earths, not because of some lost ritual, but because the ancients understood what modern science now confirms. Some dusts kill, not with toxins, not with magic. With the physics of sharpness and dryness. They did not call it diatomaceous earth, but they found the principle, silica-rich dust ground from the earth, scattered on grain in tombs underfoot. Every civilization gave it a different name, the same result. But it was only in the 1830s, on the Lüneburg Heath in what is now Germany, that the secret was uncovered for the modern world. Peat diggers, scraping for fuel, hit a layer of white powder so fine it looked like chalk. It was not chalk. It was the fossilized skeletons of billions of ancient algae, diatoms, compressed over millions of years into a soft, siliceous rock. Peter Kasten, a local peasant, recognized the strange earth had unusual properties. It absorbed water. It did not burn. It felt gritty, almost like glass. Word spread. By the 1860s, this powder, now called kieselguhr, was being mined and shipped across Europe. In a single generation, a forgotten layer of ancient life became the backbone of industry. And the world's most explosive invention was just around the corner. In 1867, Alfred Nobel stood over a table smeared with nitroglycerin, a liquid so volatile it had already killed his own brother. The world needed a way to harness its power without dying in the process. The answer was not a new chemical. It was a handful of fossilized dust from the German earth, kieselguhr, what we now call diatomaceous earth. Nobel mixed the powder with nitroglycerin. The result was dynamite. Stable, shippable, and powerful enough to blast tunnels through mountains. That single discovery built railroads, leveled cities, and bankrolled the Nobel Prizes, a $1 mineral, leveraged into billions. Just 25 years later, in 1892, death hit Hamburg in a different form. Cholera swept the city, killing thousands. Water, the source of life, had become the enemy. Wilhelm Birkefeld, an engineer, rushed to the front lines with a new invention, a water filter packed with diatomaceous earth. Bacteria could not pass. The epidemic broke. The Birkefeld filter became standard equipment in hospitals and armies worldwide. Again, the same powder was saving lives, not by killing with chemicals, but by trapping with the physics of ancient shells. By the mid-20th century, the United States Department of Agriculture listed diatomaceous earth as a protectant for stored grain. Farmers could dust their harvest and sleep at night, knowing insects would die, not from poison, but from dehydration. No residue, no resistance, no monthly bill. These are not fringe cases. They are institutional proof. Nobel, Birkefeld, and the United States Department of Agriculture were all betting on a powder most of us have never even heard of. Why does it work? The science behind this is the reason chemical companies do not want you to know its name. Under the microscope, the truth is impossible to ignore. Diatomaceous earth is not magic. It is physics, weaponized. Each grain is a fossil shell, all jagged edges and microscopic razors. When a roach, bedbug, or ant crawls across that dust, the sharp frustules slice into the waxy armor that keeps its body from drying out. The powder does not poison. It does not suffocate. It cuts, scrapes, and rips open the barrier. Then it does something even more brutal. It soaks up the oils and moisture, stripping away the last line of defense. The insect leaks water until it dies of dehydration. No nerve gas, no slow-acting toxin, just relentless mechanical death. Lab after lab has measured the results. A 2021 review pulled together more than 100 studies. Cockroaches were 100% dead in dry conditions. But it took time, up to 110 hours, sometimes more. Bedbugs, 94% wiped out in 10 days with a pure food-grade product. Termites were less vulnerable, but still dropping under the right conditions. The kill rate depends on one thing: dryness. Humidity is the enemy. Over 50% relative humidity, the powder clumps and loses its edge. Wet powder is useless. Dry powder is ruthless. There is no resistance. No gene can outsmart a broken exoskeleton. Chemical sprays breed superbugs. Diatomaceous earth makes evolution irrelevant. The only thing that stops it is water. That is the catch the industry never mentions, because it is the only real weakness. Stay with me. The next step is the difference between wasting your time and killing every last bug. The pest control industry is not built to solve your problem once and for all. It is built to rent you relief month after month, year after year. This is a $28 billion industry. It is made up of 32,000 companies, with 70% of their money coming straight from homeowners, not businesses, not hotels. People like you pay again and again for a chemical fix that never lasts. But here's the catch. Diatomaceous earth is not a secret. It is not illegal. It is not even rare. It is a natural mineral dug from the ground, bagged and sold for $1 a pound. No patent, no exclusive rights, no recurring fees. The FDA calls food-grade diatomaceous earth generally recognized as safe. The EPA has registered it for home use. You can walk into a store and buy it right now. So why isn't every exterminator handing you a bag and telling you to dust your baseboards? Because there is no money in a permanent solution, no subscription, no return visit, no chemical resistance to chase with the next new formula. If you could wipe out an infestation for a single dollar, the business model collapses. The industry needs you to believe that only a licensed professional, armed with proprietary poisons, can keep your home safe. They sell fear, they sell complexity, but the real threat to their bottom line is simplicity, a powder you can apply yourself, legally, safely, for pennies. Stay with me. The next step is the one the industry hopes you never learn. Here's the 5-step protocol the industry hopes you never follow. Step 1. Buy food-grade diatomaceous earth. Not pool filter powder, not anything with more than 2% crystalline silica. Step 2. Put on a dust mask. This isn't poison, but you don't want to breathe fine powder no matter how safe the label says. Step 3. This is where almost everyone fails. Dust only the thinnest layer possible. If you can see piles, you've wasted your time. You want a ghostly film, barely visible, ready to slice through any bug that crawls across. Step 4. Keep it bone dry. A single spill or humid breeze and the powder clumps, loses its edge, and the bugs walk away unharmed. Step 5. Wait. 48 hours for roaches, up to 9 days for bedbugs. No shortcuts, no second chances. The science is on your side if you follow every step. She was out of options. The pest control companies quoted her $1,400, then $1,800, then $2,200 each time, a new promise and a new bill. That is $5,400 just to keep sleeping in her own bed. Instead, she walked into a hardware store and spent $1 on a bag of food-grade diatomaceous earth. She followed the protocol, a thin layer, a dust mask, and she kept it dry. 2 weeks later, not a single bite. 1 month in, 0 bugs, 0 chemicals, 0 return visits. $1. Not poison, not a contract, just physics and patience. For her, the war was over, and the industry did not make a cent. Right now, you face a choice: $1 for physics or thousands for chemical cycles. No resistance, no repeat visits, just food-grade powder, a dust mask, and a thin, invisible line. The industry hides step 3 because permanent solutions threaten permanent profits. Which side do you stand on? Drop your thoughts below.